The question isn't, is it going to happen again? The question is, when is it going to happen again?
It's a common occurrence, and it's one that threatens the most vulnerable of citizens, kids.
It's been more likely that somebody will walk into the school with a gun and start shooting people than it will for a school to catch on fire.
It's kind of a culmination of all these events, really. I think we're just sick of it.
I never thought about it as a kid, never worried about myself having to go to school, and I don't think my parents ever worried about me having to go to school. It's a new feeling for me having to be concerned with sending my daughters to school and worrying about what's going to happen to them.
And it's kind of sad when you think about it that a high schooler can think, I could die today when I go to school.
My freshman year, a kid brought a gun into our high school. Thankfully, he wasn't a shooter. I remember my father calling me that day and asking me, "Are you okay?"
The Monday before the shooting in Florida, somebody threatened to shoot somebody else in the student parking lot. And then the Florida shooting happened on Wednesday. And then that Friday, we had a gun threat. And I was like, oh dear God, not again. I was honestly terrified. We take the lockdown drills pretty seriously. Like, there's no talking whatsoever. And then in fire drills, everyone's chatting away.
If we can agree that this question is, how do we keep our kids from being shot to death, then bring all the solutions we have.
I think bump stocks, ban on assault rifles, age limits, background checks, that's all low-hanging fruit.
In 1993, my little brother, he was 17, he was shot outside of the Coliseum. It wasn't just my brother, it was just so many innocent lives back then. And then today, 2018, it's still innocent lives. Everybody keeps asking, well, don't you own a gun now that you know that you need to protect yourself? I was like, heck no. No, because I know what it's like to lose.
After Parkland, I stepped back like many folks in our community and said, what am I doing about this? These young people are going to do what they need to do, and we should start doing what we need to do as well. They are tackling this, and they are making it bigger than themselves, and they are asking their peers across the country to be part of this bigger conversation, and it's happening. They've already figured some things out in a matter of weeks that all of us adults in the room haven't figured out for decades.
In Richmond, we have gun violence issues as well. And so I just wanted to help start the March for Our Lives in Richmond, Virginia. I want as many people as we can to show up, especially those who can't vote. You can still make your voice heard. This is the next best thing you can do by coming to this march and demanding that your legislators do something to prevent, the school shooting from happening in your school.
People are speaking up. People are angry. We have young voters who are coming of age, and they'll be at the box casting their ballot. So either pay attention and align yourselves with the wishes of the people and the constituents, or beef up your resume.
That's my plans. For my birthday is to go immediately to get registered to vote.
If I can't have someone to represent me who is taking money from the NRA and is refusing to help prevent this from happening again, I'll just do my best to make sure they're unseated.
I think these kids have inspired a change and inspired it to stay in the news. Like, we're in a time where news cycles by the hour, and these kids have managed to keep this front and center in the news cycle for weeks.
I have a daughter that's 5 and a son that's 2, which is why this issue has become so important to me.
If it was your son or your daughter who was shot and killed, would thoughts and prayers be enough?
I had to put myself into the shoes of these people who have lost loved ones in gun violence. And I just thought to myself, I gotta get active and, help make sure this doesn't happen again, never again.
We have to be willing to listen to each other. We have to be willing to use both our head and our heart in this process. We have to be willing to say, I may not agree with how you want to solve this problem, but if we both agree that we want to solve this problem, that is enough to have a conversation about how to solve this problem. Everybody's got a stake in this, and so I feel like everybody's got a role to play, and everybody's got even a responsibility. It takes individuals saying, I'm done. I'm not gonna just see this as another news story.